Hi, everyone. Today I get to introduce you to Chitra Rochlani, who is the Fit Warrior. And I have to tell you, she's my Fit Warrior coach. And she is one of the most amazing women on our big virtual global team. We are so fortunate to have three amazing women who are there to help our ambassadors all over the world get empowered. And I'm so happy to have you here with us today and have you part of our leadership team. And also thank you so much for everything you've done for me personally.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. This is such an amazing thing you're doing.
Well, I see that you are in your place of business, as I can tell from the background.
Yeah.
So you are a fitness and nutrition coach, right?
Yeah.
But before we talk about that and what you're doing in that, who were you before you were a fitness and nutrition coach?
Oh, that's such a good question. I had never in my wildest dreams thought that I would be in the fitness world coaching anybody because I struggled with weight all my life. Before I got into fitness, I was a photographer. That was my
I did
first
not know
passion.
that.
You didn't know CR photography. That was my business. I was doing family portraits. I was doing events. I was very happy being behind the camera.
Wow. And that was how many years ago?
That was about wow, I have to think about maybe 9, 10 years ago I started that business.
Wow. Okay. So you were doing that. And then what changed? Where did you, now we use that word pivot, which I don't like so much, but where did you pivot and why did you pivot? I know the answer to this, but share where this aha revolution happened.
Yeah, so it was interesting. I had struggled with weight loss all my life, ever since I was a kid. I was a chubby kid. Ever since I was 16, I had been part of gyms trying to work out. And somehow I would lose the weight, gain it back, lose the weight, gain it back. So in 2014 is really when I found a program that focused not just on me as a number in the gym, but really helped me see myself as a person who is determined and who valued herself, to show up every single time. Because, when I look back now, there was a lot of persistence. There was a lot of multiple efforts at trying to lose the weight. I wasn't ever going to give up, and that's what I can see now. I did see it then. So in 2014, I lost 80 pounds in 10 months. And I knew
Healthy, in a
right
healthy way. We're not talking one of those
away.
quick fix
No
diets.
quick fixes here. No quick fixes, no gimmicks, no BS. That's my slogan now. But I knew right away that there was something different about this. I had never felt treated so well as I did in that gym. There was a community I was part of. I was being treated and applauded for every effort that I was making towards my results. And I was being given the knowledge that I needed to see success. So I knew in that moment that I had to pay it forward. It was like almost like a duty. Like I felt like I
Because
had
it
to
changed your life so much.
it transformed my life completely. And
Yeah.
I knew I had to pay it forward, but obviously I didn't have, excuse me, I didn't have the knowledge. So I had to get all of my certifications and become a fitness coach. So I got my NASM, personal trainer certification. I went ahead and got my corrective exercise specialization. I became a nutrition coach so that I had all the knowledge plus my experience. And then I started to coach other people
And
to
I
do.
mean, I think that's so important, right? Because I mean, so many people can get hurt exercising. And the yo-yo dieting thing is nothing new for most of us, but like, wouldn't it be great? And I'm a victim of that too. My whole life, like you said, in eighth grade, I was going to Weight Watchers, right? And women have that feeling. And I mean, it is a mental block. And
And society doesn't help. The
no,
business
society's
definitely doesn't
terrible at
help.
it, and you are the size of your pants or what the number says on the scale, right? We are a
We're a
number, and
slave to that. We're a slave. I wish I could take everybody's scale and throw it out the
I
window.
know, but you know the feeling, right?
I
Having
do.
gotten on that scale and having your whole self-image deflated because of a number, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. And I'm not
So, so
exactly.
you started this business, you got yourself very educated. I mean, lots of certifications. For full disclosure, I signed up with your program when we went into virtual which wasn't even a real program, right? We was an experiment that is now a new way of business for you. Um,
Absolutely.
and I was amazed how bad I was doing exercises and how I wasn't really getting any results. I mean, that people say, "Oh, if form matters, form matters." Oh, yeah, but when you see that your body can't transform unless the form is in there. And you're still telling me, right? Move your arm, move forward, put your butt down, all those things. But, that guidance and that accountability has changed my life. Now, I didn't need 80 pounds, but for me, the weight that I had was really self-defeating for me. I was at that point where I think I know you know this. Age was a problem for me. I just thought this is the way it's going to have to be, And then, what is your real slogan? Because that's the really win the mind,
In the body.
win the mind, win the body, and you really helped me
Part
do
of
that.
it, yeah, part of it is the knowledge, like knowing that, you have to eat a certain way. You don't have to starve yourself. You don't have to skip meals or, feel like you need to eat. A majority of the people think they need to eat less to lose weight. And
Right.
in your case, especially, you notice that yourself. You probably ate double of what you were eating, but you lost weight.
Well, it was crazy. I was like, this is going to go backwards for me. This is going to go backwards for me. But when you're of that mindset, right? Calorie counting mindset, and it makes sense in some ways, right? That says less, calories in, calories out, calories in, calories out. That makes sense. But then you don't factor the complications of your body. I was in the menopause stage and my body was holding on for dear life with
Yeah,
everything,
yeah. So, you have to fuel your body right, and that's what I try to teach people.
Well, I
Fuel
think
your
that's
body right.
you honor, and that's what I think, what I could say about you personally, but also within Big as a leader, as a human being. You're an amazing leader. You're an amazing leader, both in your business and within our organization, because you really do champion the other women.
I think it's important because we've been put down for so long. We've been made to feel bad about ourselves for so long. And that's probably the number one reason we can't succeed, because we're constantly beating ourselves up. But the minute you start to feel empowered and feel good about yourself, you want to do more. If
Right.
I tell you to give up sugar because you're a bad person and you can't have control over yourself, you're going to want more sugar. Chances are you're going to reach for that cookie jar and eat the whole damn thing. But if I educate you on why the sugar is bad and I empower you to think about other ways to satisfy yourself and cope with the stress in your life and the emotional ups and downs that make us reach for that cookie jar, now you're coming from a place of empowerment. And I experienced that firsthand. My coach did that for me. So that's why I need to pay that forward. And I know that when we bring out that inner warrior, that's it. We want to do better,
I could never, ever imagine that I am doing what I'm doing with you on a regular basis, because I never did it I never challenged myself. And then it does feel good when you can get through a class and not winded, or, you didn't have to skip an exercise, or you can, and not every day is perfect. You have to, but I think what I've learned is the honoring of your body, right? The honoring your body. It's not about trying to make it do something. It's honoring it.
Absolutely. I always, try and remind all of my clients, like, it's a privilege that we have to be able to take care of this body, to be able to afford high quality ingredients, to be able to move our body. There are so many people out there who are unable to do it for whatever reasons, financial, health, physical. They can't move their body like we can. So we
Yeah.
need to cherish that. We need to honor that. We need to be grateful for that.
Yeah. This has been the year of introspection, right? And figuring out what really matters, and health matters. Obviously, health matters.
Absolutely.
Um, so how do you want your clients to feel when they're done working with you? I know how I feel. I'm proud. I feel proud. And I feel I have, it took me a long time. And I will say this to anyone who is thinking about doing this is, you have to trust. It's a vulnerability to be vulnerable. You have to see you at your worst in some ways, right? And but tell me how you want your clients to feel. What is some of the best results that you've gotten out of helping some of these women and some of the women that I know?
I think that, for me, really, I want them to feel like an athlete. I want them to feel like they can do whatever they put their mind to, because they can. I have worked with, 30-year-olds. I work with 60-year-olds. Some of my 60-year-old clients are like badass women who've done some amazing things. And they're like now a source of inspiration to everybody else. So, and I want them to know that, you can start working on your body today, right now, if you wanted to. Right? You don't have to wait. Like, if you wanted to be CEO of a company, you have to wait till you get hired in that position. You have to wait till someone sponsors you to get there. You have to wait till all the stars align, all of that stuff. You can't just say, I'm going to be CEO and become a CEO. But if you say you want to get in the best shape of your life, you can do that starting right now,
Yeah, my
right?
husband says, I think you're in the best shape of your life. And I'm like,
I,
I think
yeah.
I am too, probably. Like even
And more important than how you look, I mean, think about how you feel,
yeah.
right?
Well,
You
and
feel
it leads to
empowered.
other things.
Yeah.
It leads to me wanting to make sure my hair is good and making sure that the things that I'm
Confident.
doing, it leads to more self-care,
Absolutely.
right?
And I think that the biggest thing I want women to feel is empowered, confident, and badass in whatever they're doing.
Right.
That's it.
And you know what? That starts with investing in themselves. And I know that, we always back burner ourselves and we try at big to really get women to put themselves on the front burner. But, you'll spend money on so many other people in your family. How many people are writing checks to camps? And I know right now with COVID, they can't wait to write a check to a camp, right?
Take
But
my kid.
they hesitate to invest in themselves, right? And I can just say, for those people who think like I'm not an athlete, or I was never an athlete, I'm not an athlete, or I don't know if I can do it, or, one foot in front of that. I don't think I ever love exercise, but I like challenge myself, and then I'm proud of myself.
And then you love the feeling after you're
I love
done,
the feeling after.
right?
I love the
That's what
feeling
it's
after.
about.
Yeah.
And your body will thank you in the long run because you're stronger, leaner, fitter.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, my grandmother shrunk 3 inches when she got older because she had osteoporosis, and strength training is the counter to that. So I don't have to think I'm going to get osteoporosis anymore.
Ah, that is such a huge weight lifted off your shoulders, I'm
Yeah.
sure, right?
It's
Yeah.
so good to take care of yourself, and women have to do that because we take care of so many other people. So I
Mm.
will totally, I have been a testimonial for you. I walk the walk when I really experience it, and you have really been a special gift to me in so many ways, both within Big and outside of Big. So what could the women of Big do to help you get your goals? You've been so good to so many women. You have this business. Explain where your business is now, because now that you've evolved since COVID to a whole new business model, right? And it's going to continue. So you don't have the geographic boundaries of being in New Jersey like we used to, right? And what could the women of Big do to help you reach your goals? How do you want to make your brand and spread this amazing information out to the world?
Sure. Yeah. So for me, COVID changed my business completely, and I've gone fully virtual. So I do my nutrition coaching virtually. I do my boot camp classes virtually. I do all of my personal training. Everything is virtual. And the beauty of it is that I have people joining from California and Texas and Rhode Island and Virginia, and it's been amazing to connect with women all across the globe and all across the nation, and it's been such a blessing. This year, my word for my business and for myself really is impact. So I really am so passionate about what I do, and I want to share that passion with as many people as I can and help as many women as I can feel empowered, feel good about their bodies, feel good about in their skin so that they can be their best selves. And I always say, like, when you take care of yourself, you're going to be better at taking care of everyone else around you because you're happier. But if you're always looking in the mirror and feeling bad, there's the part of that lingers with you everywhere. So if anyone in Big has a group of people that they would like to bring me in and help me educate them in terms of nutrition, fitness, mindset, those are my 3 pillars. So I work on all of those 3, and I'm happy to share everything I can about all of these topics. So that would be fantastic to help me make as much impact as I can.
Yeah, and we've had the fortune of kicking off our new year. You were our first HQ speaker. We had over 60 women register to come and get their metabolism jump started with you. And you don't know what you don't know. And having someone like you who has taken the time to understand the body and understand what it takes. And what I love about having worked with you too is you customize it to the woman. I'm in class with you, and if there's someone who's not can't do the whole thing, you give 3 different ways of doing it, so you don't ever feel like
You have to
the,
keep up
the,
with
the
them.
last one in the class.
Yeah, because everyone's at a different level. So you have to work as hard as you can and in the safest way that you can. That's my goal, is to help you do that.
Honor your body where you're at, right?
Exactly.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
absolutely.
And it's amazing over time. I think, what am I, 10 months in, something like that,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
am I can do things I could never have imagined I can do. The other
absolutely.
day I actually started doing my push-ups from grown-up version.
Yeah,
Off
big
my
girl
knees.
push-ups.
Off my knees.
You're
Sometimes
a
when I'm
rock
doing these
star.
exercises, I'm thinking to myself, how can my body do this? You know?
Conditioning. It's all conditioning. We've
Yeah.
conditioned it to get strong and lean and do more things.
Yeah, it's amazing. And I would say, obviously I would recommend working with Chitra, but do something. Don't do
Yeah.
nothing.
No, just,
That's not
let's
the answer.
talk. Let's have a conversation. Let's,
Yeah.
start with a conversation.
Now, speaking of that, because we're wrapping this up, what is the easiest, fastest way for anybody who is saying, it's time for me to do something here? How do they reach you?
Absolutely. So they can go to my website, fitwarriorlife.com, and they can reach out to me. There's a discovery call they can book with me. No obligation to sign up for anything whatsoever, because we have to be a good fit. So we have a 30-minute conversation. I tell you what I do. You tell me what you need to get to in terms of your goals. And we see if we can chalk out a plan. And if our energies match, then we sign up and we're good to go.
And I have to say, you didn't, I don't care if I ever go to a gym again physically. I mean, this
Right? Who would have ever thought?
this works for me, because the other thing is with you don't need equipment, right? You've learned to do this. I mean,
If
you
you have some light weights, that's great. But if not, we use your own body weight, and we, learn about moving your body right and engaging your core and doing all that good stuff.
so thank God for technology. So, usually Zoom is helpful, usually.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I'm grateful for all the technology that helps me
Well,
stay.
we're grateful to you. We're grateful for all you're doing to help the women of Big all around the world. We're so glad to have you part of this organization. You've added so much amazingness to us, and we're so happy to have you.
It's feelings
So
mutual.
glad to know you. I'm so glad that the universe brought us to you, and with Susan and Maria. Sometimes if you put your goals and dreams out there, the universe answers, right?
Absolutely, 100%. I'm grateful I found Big, and I've learned so much from all the amazing big women and from you. So it's a mutual feeling of love here.
Well, good. Well, we're going to share this information, and we're going to try to help improve other people's lives by just sharing what we know and our gifts and our talents, and having people, receive the opportunities when they feel like they need them. And we're going to, let the universe take us where it's supposed to go.
I love it. Thank you so much for
Thank
doing
you
this.
for being here with us, and for all you do for the women of Big.
Absolutely, my pleasure.